Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today, let us try to discuss resume. What is resume? You have in writing skill, you have one of the questions on this particular pattern. You have to discuss resume of one person, resume of a student, resume of any employer, resume of anybody, right? Okay. First, see what is resume. This is displayed on your screen. Resume. It is a short account of one's career and qualifications, prepared by an applicant for a job vacancy. Right? It is simply an account of one's career and qualifications. Whatever qualifications you are keeping, what is your career, what is your work experience, each and everything is you have to enter in the resume, and then you have to submit then curriculum vitae, what is called a CV normally, uh, to 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 an authority where you will ascertain some sort of job. It is simply a sort of application that is given for a job, and where you are displaying each and everything. Okay, let us try to understand the format, how you are able to discuss resume and how you are able to develop resume. First of all, it is very easy to understand. You have name first. In resume, when you are writing name, you have to write name. This is the demo copy of of a of an applicant. Let us suppose the name is Mubashir Ahmed Lon. Then you are writing date of birth. Remember, don't write short words, or you can say abbreviated words in date of birth. Write down just like this is January 15, 2002, or it can be 15th January 2002. You understand? Don't write Jan and then you are inserting full stop, etc. Don't do that. Whenever you write the name of the month, it could be complete spelling of the that particular month, right? Okay, now Mubashir Ahmed Loan is the name, and then you have date of birth January 15, 2005. Now you have to understand. Then we are writing present address where he is residing, right? Okay, there are this is house colony Bimana Srinagar. Housing colony Bimana Srinagar. Remember, now see this: H with capital, C with capital colony, and Bimna you have to write the B with capital, and then it is obviously where it is situated. First of all, housing colony of Bimna, and then Bimna is situated in Srinagar, and then you are sometimes writing pin code, etc. That is the present address of the applicant. Okay, now you have permanent address. Sometimes what happens, your present address and permanent address, that differs. Present you are staying somewhere else, and if you talk of your permanence or your present permanent address, that is somewhere else. But this applicant has the same address at the both the places. Now here permanent address again, housing colony Bimna Srinagar 190008. Okay, now see academic qualification. Academic qualification, obviously there are people who are masters of art, it differs. There are people who are master of science, MSc, in certain subjects, maybe physics, chemistry, arts, or in arts subjects you are writing master of arts, and here bachelor of arts, what is normal called BA. The best way is to write the exact, without abbreviating the things. Write down just like bachelor of arts instead of what's called BA. That is the qualification to the person who is named as Mubashir Ahmed Lon, who is the applicant, right? And then you are writing another very important thing, that is professional qualification. There are people who are professionally trained in certain areas. That's why it is very important and obligatory, to discuss the professional qualification as well. Here, professional qualification for the applicant is diploma in computer applications, right? There are people who have professional qualification of, for example, there are certain people who are B Ed, Bachelor of Education. There are people who are CP Ed, right? You are writing just like physical education, for example, teachers. Then you are writing BP Ed. Then you are writing sometimes MP Ed, Master in Education. Basically what happens, professional qualification is always different from the academic qualification, right? That's why professional qualification you have to display it. There are people who are, sometimes who have done some courses in geology and mining, or who have done certain courses in information technology, or for instance here in computer applications, right? Here the person who is Mubashir Ahmed Lon, the applicant, his professional qualification is diploma in computer applications. Okay. Now you have another thing which you have to display in your curriculum vitae, or what's called, resume. In resume you have to display this much: hobbies. What are your hobbies? There are people whose hobbies are reading and here gardening, right? Reading and gardening. You are maybe a little bit different. You may like photography and your hobby might be photography. You may love to have, gardening, etc. You are involved in gardening, etc. Hobby is basically something that is the passion of a person, and whatever leisure time he gets, he is involving himself into that particular area, right? That's considered to be hobbies. And then you have to write another thing that is again very important: language is known. The applicant, how, you have to understand how many languages he know. Here he knows, Mubashir Ahmed Lon knows Kashmiri language, he knows Urdu and English, right? Okay. And then you have to write the contact number. You have to give the your entire, information. There must be nothing that you will conceal, right? Whatever information you have that is necessary for a job, that is essential to ascertain a job, or to, get a job, or to impress the people, that is why you have to give each and everything there, right? Here you have contact number of the applicant. And then you have to give the email address. Normally, you are writing like this here: mubashirloan23 at gmail.com, right? We will try to understand in some other lecture where we will discuss emails, right? There I will try my level best to make you understand how to write emails. Okay. Here the email of the applicant is mubashirloan23 at gmail.com, right? Okay. Then you have one more thing, that is additional information. There are certain people who have certain additional, who wants to give certain additional information. For example, there are people who are involved with NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and they are working as a volunteer, and they have worked for 2 years or 3 years, let us suppose, right? Here they can give that type of information as well. You may have additional information, in the form of business, in the form of techniques, in the form of something else, right? You can write each and everything here in additional information. Okay. And I believe, this is considered to be resume of a person. Simply means an essential detail or your biodata that is required to ascertain a job. Okay. Now let me tell you, little bit about okay, about not this about this is simply CV. We normally call it CV, and CV stands for curriculum vitae, right? CV is a summary of your education and experience, work experience, right? Now, curriculum vitae is simply a summary of your education and work experience, often requested by the by prospective employers. It is often requested by prospective employers. Most professionals store their CVs electronically so that they can be updated when necessary, right? Now most professionals, there are a number of applicants who are storing their curriculum vitae electronically so that they can be able to update their information whenever necessary, right? And they, and they are at the time of applying for a job, they simply provide this particular what is called curriculum vitae to the employer. Okay. However, resume is brief, usually on 1 or 2 pages. That is again important, but for you, whenever you are trying to prepare a resume, prepare it on just 1 page. Okay. Curriculum vitae is more detailed in nature, covering several pages, right? There are certain CVs who are very who are very long, and who cover each and everything of a person. But you do not require, generally require a very brief account of your you know details, your biodatas, that are essential and necessary to ascertain a job. Okay, boys and girls, I'm leaving you here. We'll meet you in the next class. Goodbye.